The Roman delegation has arrived. Inform the cooks.
Welcome to Alexandria, honored Romans. May Ra's light shine upon you.
Do not send servant girls to the quarters of the Senator's guards. Do you understand?
I do, but he asked for her by name.
I don't care. Send one of the men. If he complains, tell him to speak to me directly.
Do not wander off. You are in the palace of the most divine Pharaoh of Egypt, and you will be watched closely.
So he finally granted an audience to that strange priestess.
He did. I doubt she'll leave that throne room alive, the way she acts.
I'm going! Stop chasing me, by the goddess!
You're lucky the Pharaoh didn't have you executed, idiot girl.
Wow, rude! You want me to call down a curse of Ubasti upon you? Because I've just about had it with you people!
You can't curse me.
Try me, you'll see.
Just go home. The Pharaoh is expecting important guests.
Huh? Oh, I'm Raya, priestess of Ubasti. I've had a really rough day.
The cat goddess. She is greatly revered among the people. How has my blithering fool of a husband offended you, dear?
It's a long story. Well, actually, I guess it's pretty short. He's throwing a festival of Serapis in Memphis. It's going to cause so much trouble. I waited here a month to get this audience and then... Oh, they were all counting on me back home, and I blew it. We worship the old gods in Memphis. He's doing this against the people's will. It's disrespectful. I may have lost my temper a little.
And yet your head is still attached to your shoulders. Perhaps my husband does retain some small measure of respect for the old gods.
I guess?
We're looking for a place where books and ledgers are kept. Do you know it?
The library? It's the building right over there. Good luck in there. I'm going to go find a corner to cry in.
You are a mess, girl. I will sit with you.
All right. Thank you. Do you like cats?
You are in the presence of Ptolemaeus Theos Philopator, he who rules over land and sea, this world and the other world, of the dead and of the living. He who is the face of the sun and the will of the Nile.
Hello, husband. You look particularly pathetic today.
It is always good to see you, honored wife.
It is customary to greet a foreign ruler with a bow.
You have trained him well, my dear wife.
Like all Romans, he responds well to discipline. Well, I think we are all sufficiently acquainted, so shall we begin?
Very well. There seems to be a lot of animosity between the different parties in this meeting. This kind of thing serves no one. Let us talk. I am sure we can reach a meaningful and satisfactory solution to our conflict. I am merely an advisor to His Majesty, here to protect Rome's trade routes. Legion? By Minoa, of course not. Marcellus and his men are here for my own protection. They are my Praetorian Guard.
A living god does not have friends.
His Majesty understands us and our objectives in this region. It is natural that this brings us together. There seems to be a minor disagreement between a husband and his wife. You seem to be taking sides. Ill-advised, in my opinion, but I'm sure there's nothing I can do to dissuade you. Marcellus, take Hortensius and help them. But do as you're told.
This is inconvenient. We need to find those documents, but we can't do it with Loco's men hanging around.
They don't look formidable. I think we can kill both of them easily.
I'd be really happy if we could get rid of them without leaving behind more corpses. Calida, you're good at talking to people. Invent a reason for at least 2 of us to leave. Or be less charming, maybe, so I can send you away to find those ledgers.
What a waste. Poor kid's only crime was coming to Egypt.
It was an unfortunate breach of etiquette.
Unfortunate? This man was butchered.
There are rules and regulations about dealing with regents. One ignores those at one's own risk, especially within the walls of the royal palace.
You think this is Cleopatra's palace? That's the problem with women. They always confide in each other as if rumor-mongering gives them some faint measure of power.
A woman's heart beats to a different drum, Marcellus. I can tell this one has a nose for conspiracy. She may even tell us something useful.
Fine. Fetch us a jug of wine, Aquilinus, and take the Cerberus with you. We have things to discuss.
Now that the unpleasantries are out of the way, I assume we may finally discuss business.
Excellent idea. We have plenty of food. The Nile provides. Bring food for our guests. Prepare a feast at once.
Despite possessing endless wisdom, His Majesty is not used to dealing with Romans, especially not those with no position in the Senate. Let us slow down and clear some things up first.
I've traveled all this way so I can talk to my husband. I have absolutely no intention of watching 2 arrogant Romans exchange thinly veiled insults.
An advisory role to His Majesty, primarily protecting Roman interests. One's profit doesn't always cause the other's loss. The best business arrangements are reached when both parties benefit.
A peace treaty? Are we at war? In my experience, soldiers often die. Your proconsul should have been careful. We do understand your anguish, but starting a war would be a bit of an overreaction. Don't you think? Perhaps. Let us first hear what you have to say.
Will you continue gossiping like old fishwives, or will we get to discuss terms finally?
All right. Depending on Kalida's ability to keep them busy, I'd say we have enough time. Libraries, scrolls, and ledgers are your domain, Cinerus. Lead the way, but discreetly. I don't like where this is going.
Need access to the
Looks like they're renovating. Too bad you're too large to fit through here, old man.
But I have a duty to continue the chronicle.
There's nothing I can do. Are you looking for something, old man? Indeed it is, and I am responsible for its safety. Now, get out of here.
Your tongue was not as slick as I'd hoped.
Perhaps it is time to try a more straightforward solution. I have an idea, Magister. Let me try it.
Stay out of the library.
I have an idea, Magister. Let me try it. Follow me.
Looks like they're renovating here. Maybe. That is unfortunate. There is no way you or I can fit through that crack. Looks like they're renovating.
Now that the unpleasantries are out of the way, I assume we may finally discuss business.
A war? Well, we tend to win those. If you're talking...
Despite possessing
I've traveled all this way so I can talk to my husband. I have absolutely no intention.
an advisory role to His Majesty, primarily protecting one's profit doesn't always cause the other's loss. The best business arrangements are reached when both parties benefit. Enemy-use diplomatic channels remain open, as you can see. The proconsul's death is a tragedy. Be aware, however, that some people may interpret your words as accusations. It is unwise to speak of a crime of this magnitude without deeply convincing evidence. That is an exceptionally stupid thing to admit while your men are still within the walls of this palace. Corvinus. Business.
I've traveled all this way so I can talk to my husband. I have absolutely no
An advisory role to one's profit doesn't always cause the proconsul. Beware, however, that some people may interpret your words as accusations. It is unwise to... That is an exceptionally stupid thing. Now that the unpleasantries are out of...
Excellent idea.
Despite...
I've traveled all this way so I can talk to my husband.
Enemy-use diplomatic channels remain open, as you can see. An advisory role to His Majesty, primarily protecting Roman interests. One's profit doesn't always cause the other's loss. The best business arrangement...
A peace treaty? Are we at war? In my experience, soldier, we do understand your anguish, but starting a war would be a bit of an overreaction. Perhaps.
Will you continue gossiping like old fishwives, or will we get to discuss terms finally?
All right. Depending on Kalida's ability to keep them busy, I'd say we have enough time. Libraries, scrolls, and ledgers are your domain, Cinerus. Lead the way, but discreetly. I don't like where this is going. Let's avoid alerting them. That cat priestess said the library is back there. Looks like they're renovating. Too bad you're too large to fit through here, old man. Looks like they're...
Are you looking for something, old man? Does this look like a stone to you? Get out of here, old man. Claudius Tranquilius likes his office clean. You are soiling the floor.
Your tongue was not as slick as I had hoped.
Perhaps it is time to try a more straightforward solution.
Stay out of...
I have an idea, Magister. Let me try it. Follow me.
It's locked. Any ideas for getting in there? Take this seriously, please. Just because she reveres cats, that doesn't mean that she has some kind of mystical control over them. I did, but we are too big to squeeze through. Kalida might have fit through, but she's busy with Lurko's men. Great. Let me know when you're inspired. Looks like they're renovating here. Maybe. That is unfortunate. There is no way you or I can fit through that crack.
What do you need, warrior? She's been telling me about her religion. It is certainly unusual.
This is said by a woman who worships cats, mind you.
I don't mean to be rude. Thank you for sitting with me. A cat's unseen unless she needs to be seen. Look around. Cats are everywhere. Find them and they shall help you.
Where did that cat come from? I didn't see that before.
If we barge into the throne room right now, we will lose our advantage. that will open the door?
Let me work. You will see.
All right, all right. Are you aiming to fashion some kind of tool out of that? Hey, why are you smashing the workbench?
I need the wood. You will see.
Why don't we stop collecting pets and work on getting through that door instead?
This is unacceptable.
You really gave it the full Bestia to Bat treatment. It's no
Under
use at
no
all
circumstances may the accountant be disturbed. Pharaoh's orders.
But I have a duty to continue the chronicle. Treatment.
There's nothing
no
I
use
can
at
do.
all anymore. What are you doing? Have you lost your wits? How would that lead to
Who
the
is
door?
unleashing this hurricane of cats upon the library? I'm trying to work in here, you know.
Never mind.
So you want a permanent solution to our disagreement? Intriguing, we must admit. Let us hear your proposal.
My proposal is quite simple, darling. You shall cease your attack, and I shall assume my rightful place on the throne.
Ridiculous, as always. And when you sit on this throne, what should we do, we wonder?
I like this idea. It's creative and sufficiently humiliating for you. You shall rule Kyrenaika just like your grandfather, Fiskon.
We are not amused anymore. Your jesting is tedious and insulting. Everything happens for the sole purpose of our amusement, Roman. You'll soon come to realize this.
Well, I believe the best course here would be to arrange some sort of co-rule, granting both parties equal power.
Equal?
Indeed. That way, everyone's happy, and Rome continues to benefit from our trade deal.
Have you lost your mind? This is a terrible idea.
We have examined the corpse. The guard was indisputably killed by their people.
That is fantastic, Marcellus. But if you're here, where's the rest of our visiting party?
They are relaxing outside. I thought.
You thought? Why do you keep trying to do things you're not good at? Why did you leave a potentially dangerous group of people free to roam these halls?
With all due respect, Senator, you are overreacting. There are royal guards posted all around. It's not like they will set the palace on fire.
Hello, can I help you? Not at all. I oversee all transactions related to the Egyptian trade and taxation on behalf of the Senate of Rome. Certainly not. That is to say, the senator works for the Roman Senate too, you know. My name is Claudius Tranquillus. I'm not sure I can help with any kind of investigation. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't have any ledgers. I just keep the numbers in my head. He and the Pharaoh are in it together. I didn't know about it when I started, but when I found out, the Pharaoh said he would have me executed if I left. I did. The leader of Wixie demanded oversight of his own organization. I tried to make it impossible to decipher. I've never met someone who knew as much about ciphers and riddles as I. He is called the Great Shadow. That's all I know about him. I don't even know if he's Roman. Not a real legion, obviously. Hired thugs. Even their number is a pun on death. I don't know why the Senator employs them, but I can tell you there are 1,298 of them in his current employ. I don't think so. The proconsul's murder was very bad for us. It called too much attention to our work. I think it was the Pharaoh. They don't get along very well, the Pharaoh and the Senator. At least the Senator doesn't think so. I wish I could come with you, truly, but the Pharaoh's people will kill us both. Well, I'm not going anywhere. If you can get me out of the palace safely, I will help you in any way I can.
Your Majesty, a massive clouder is invading the...
Hello, can I help you? Not at all. I oversee all...
Your Majesty, a massive clouder is invading the palace. It's a sign from Ubasde.
What kind of a simpleton are you? Do you think this requires your Pharaoh's attention? Corvinus, go see what's happening.
Evidently, the place is falling apart under your incompetent rule.
What's your endgame here, Legate?
Your Majesty, a massive clouder is invading the palace. It's a sign from Ubasde.
What kind of a simpleton are you? Do you think this requires your Pharaoh's attention? Corvinus, go see what's happening.
Evidently, the place is falling apart under your incompetent rule.
What's your endgame here, Legate? Not a single drop was shed before you appeared. We could have found a better solution to all of this. I should surrender? For what crime? You started this war on the pretense that Egypt was behind the murder of our proconsul, remember?
Your Majesty, the cats know no end. The palace is being invaded by otherworldly forces.
That sounds like an ill omen. This meeting is adjourned. Let us evacuate at once.
That was an interesting experience. We found the man who keeps records for Vitellius Loco, Claudius Tranquillus. Unfortunately, he keeps them purely in his head.
He believes it was Ptolemy who killed Lucullus, so there's nothing we can use there.
Although it does mean our casus belli was sound, which is a great relief. Additionally, he confirmed that Loco is stealing tax money from Rome, and he is willing to testify before the Senate. Unfortunately, that will not be possible until we invade the city and capture this palace.
I am glad that I was able to help you in this matter. But I refuse to spend another moment in this palace until I am its mistress. Come, we must leave. We're leaving.